Good morning, everyone. We're group number one, and our project focuses on the district of Ancón, located in the northern cone of Lima Metropolitana. Our group is made up by five members: Chiara Fioco, Miguel Pérez, Liz Arias, Alexander Mena, and Sebastián Maldonado. And throughout this presentation, we'll walk you through a comprehensive and urban analysis that begins with the district itself and leads to a master plan proposal for a specific study area. Our presentation is organized in several parts. First, I'll begin with a general overview and analysis of the District of Hong Kong. Then we'll move to a more detailed study of a chosen area. This will be followed by a review of case study that inspired our design approach. Later, we present our first sketch of a master plan, and finally, the final version of the proposal. We'll conclude with a reflection of an architect's role and a SWOT analysis of our intervention. First, Ancon is a coastal district located in the northern cone of Lima. Known for its historical role as a seaside resort and its current urban diversity, in terms of transportation, it has a strategic connection to a Panamericana Norte Highway. The line in red is actually the Panamericana Norte Highway, which facilitates regional mobility but lacks efficient public transportation systems, especially in peripheral areas. Regarding to land use, Ancon presents a fragmented urban fabric with a mix of residential, industrial, and recreational zones. However, much of of the urban growth has been unplanned, leading to informal settlements and pressure on available land. The economic activity is diversified, with sectors like service, trade, and tourism playing an important role, and it expects the growth further with large-scale projects such as a bicentenary city and the development of the Chancay port. From a demographic perspective, Ancon has seen a steady population increase, but many residents lack access to a basic service like water, electricity, waste management, especially in the newer and more informal zones. Finally, the district faces serious challenges such as environment degradation along its coastline, the threat of natural disasters like tsunamis and mud floods, and increasing real estate speculation in the absence of a solid urban development plan. Despite this situation, Ancon holds a strong potential for planet and sustainable growth if urban policies and investment are properly aligned.
Introduction study area. We select around area 200 square meters with no existing infrastructure or housing. It's located at the intersection and main roads, which made it a strategic location for the future urban development. With 1 kilometer radius, we found access to the sea, exits, urban planning, and public service. All of that is made design ideal for urban consolidation. 3. Zoning map is this land is categorized under other use, but the surrounding area shows a clean trend towards residential and commercial development. We can observe that housing is progress consolidation and commercial activity is growing along the main roads. This reflects is an urban transition process influenced by accessibility and demand, which should guide future zoning and land use conditions. Arterial roads like Avenida San Francisco, Avenida Julio Centello, collector roads such as Avenida Las Colinas, and several local roads, while the main roads are private and in better conditions. The local street is like walls needs maintenance. And for the building, most of them are low-rise, not higher than four-story, preserve the human scale and coastal view. This height restriction in part of zoning regulation to protect to the district historical and ancient value. And rich. Ancon face both natural and anthropic rich. Around 45% of the area is exposed to tsunami, flooding, and seismic vulnerable range from the low to the high depending of soil type. In 2022, a major oil spills several damaged local ecosystem and killed dozens of species. Social risk is also the present crime rates increment in 2023. This condition may is necessary to urban plan intervention with resilience and safety in mind. This district provides buses and urban facilities such as education centers, healthcare services, public squares, parks, and commercial establishments, light markets, and restaurants. Most homes have access to the electric, water supplies, and sewer system, although some areas still use cesspit or pit latrines. The main source of fuel is LP gas, with reduced pollution compared to the other fuels. This element may make Ancon a viable district for future development with proper planning. Or smooth analysis shows that Ancon strengths include the strategic location, scenic value, and ability and development length. Opportunities light is in potential for urban consolidation, every restoration, and resilient infrastructure investment. However, threats such as environment, mental pollution, and risk crime, and weakness like basic service gaps and tsunami rates must be addressed. Believe it that with coordinated urban planning, Ancon can develop into a more sustainable and livable coastal district.
About the first sketch of the master plan, our initial design proposal, we began by analyzing the existing context and nearby facilities. We found key public institutions as such a city hall and one church. And right in front of our project site, there are two schools. Within the intervention area itself, we also identified a sport court. Our main goal in the first approach was that to create a strong connection between the waterfront and our proposal using a line park as a linking element. This green corrector not only provides pedestrian access and the landscape experience, but also helps uh, integrate the area into wider urban fabric. In addition to this, we made to introduce a new public facilities that will complement the area and respond to local needs. And finally, we decided incorporate the existing sport court as a of the part of the proposal, turning it into an active public space that promotes recreation community use. About the international and national case studies, we first we represent the West Kowloon Cultural District in Hong Kong. This is a mixed-use cultural and tourist district master planning by Foster plus Barnett, located on the prime waterfront side west of the station. The project brings together iconic museum, performance avenues, and cultural institutions. In the items of the urban design component, the district features the following key elements by integrate mobility networks, waterfront public realm, mixed use and development, resilient landscape, and cultural clusters. As the project impact once only full operation, they include 50 million vision to museums and 2 kilometers can free waterfront. About the second, another international case study, we present a Bandoira waterfront plan. This project was carried between 1992 and 2012 by the public company Villa Ria. Transformation approximately 774 acres of absorbed docks right yards. The plan prioritized green public space and pedestrian accessibility. In terms of urban design component, we have cultural congress actor, business landmark, public realm, clean mobility, and mix and uses fabric. About the impacted and observed outcome include 1.32 visit to museum and 200,000 square meters compared to the park and river walk. About the case national case study, we present in Chancay Urban Development Plan. This located in Chancay, Peru. This large-scale urban initiative position Chancay as the model of sustainability and progress of South America. The project seeks to restore the coastline line, project natural ecosystems, and simultaneously promote development of the new urban center of the tourist corridors. About the urban design component, the plan include controlled vertical growth, green-blue infrastructure, 5-minute city, land management, and city port transition. About the project impact once upon it, 66,000 annual tourist football and 112 projects to improve urban service and quality of life. About SECO is a national case study, is local coast promote master plan. En Hilo, located in the coastal of the city of Hilo, Peru, this urban intervention aims to transform the city seafront into the modern tourist and recreational liner park. In the urban design component, we have a universal access and active mobility, public space, resilient landscaping, coastal defense, and tourist service. About the project impact once upon it, for the 40% annual tourists, 25% draw in pedestrian accidents, and creation of the continued green corridor mitigating. About the placemaking, first place, we are participating in placemaking, natural basic solutions, universal accessibility, and crime prevention through environment design. How to apply this a project in your project? About the agents, rapid diagnostic, and exclusive design, management model, and technology based. About the agent involved, we have government institutes. For example, District of the Municipalidad of Cancun, Metropolitan Municipality of the Lima, Minister of Housing, Construction and Sanitation, and Minister of Culture. In point two, local community and civil organizations. We have a neighborhood where all local communities and a cultural sport or environment organization. And finally, private sector and professional construction companies and contractors and prevent inversion of strategic partners.
Good morning, teacher and classmates. My name is Chiara Fiocco, and I will present the master plan and impacts of Ancon District. So this is our master plan, and we have some facilities here. For example, here we have a cultural center. Is this one? Is the biggest here because this equipment, this facility have more spaces inside. For example, a library, a theater, and an interpretation center. So that's the reason that this is a big space. So then we have a central plaza for dancing. Is this circle in green? And this plaza for dancing have around some food stalls, some mini shops. So this will be a little commercial zone, we can say. Then we have with purple, for example, the smallest space is this, is the security center. This space is important because the neighbors of these districts need to feel comfortable and safe. So this is a very important space here. Then we have, for example, the sports fields. There are these two big rectangles that we consider important because people need to have some physical activities, so have a recreational zone to make some sports or just maybe play with friends. So these two big rectangles are the sport fields in this place, in this proposed. So then we also have another important area and another important space that is this, is the artisanal workshops. Here, people can come and make some activities, for example, ceramics, carpentry, or printmaking, maybe for a new business or just for fun, for example. So this is a great space. Then we have the children area. I will color with yellow. This space is here. In that children's area, we can find some playgrounds or bench park, or it's a recreational zone. So this is with yellow, the children's area. Then we have also, for example, with this color, we will have the art gallery that is here. The art gallery, it's an important space because people of the district can come here to see some art, maybe draws, paints, photography. So it's a cultural point also. So it's very important to be here. Then we have a botanical garden. I will draw it with this green. The botanical garden is this big space. Is the one of the biggest because the botanical garden need a lot of space because this will have plants, tree, maybe some flowers or micro ecosystems. So this is an important green space, right? So this is a botanical garden. And also we have another small space that I will draw it with this brown is here. This space is important. Are the restrooms and the first aid services as a medical station. And this is important because people need to have a quickly attention, medical attention if they present some troubles here, some problems. So it's important this. And also the restroom, because if some people need to go here, they don't need to return to their house or maybe a restaurant. So just in this place, they can find this. So that's the reason that we have public restrooms here. And finally, one of the most important is this lineal park. I would draw it with red. Is all this large space, as we can see. And why this is so important? Because we have here in our master plan, this is our cultural zone, cultural and also social zone. So what we want to have is a connection of this zone and also this board wall here in all this space and also the sea. So this promenade have the purpose to connect these two important zones in the district, and this will be have a walk path and a cycle path. So this linear park, it's possible that they will have here a kind of commercial, right? So the experience that the people will have here will be great because they will pass around here and they will finish in this big social space, and in the middle they will find a lot of maybe restaurants, shops, or interest things that they will, and they will have a very good experience here. So that I mentioned have will bring some impacts, right? So impacts in different aspects. For example, in social aspects, we have a lot of spaces that help that people meet there. For example, the artisanal workshops, or maybe the sport fields. They can meet new neighbors, they make new connections, new relationships. So this will have a very good social impact. Another impact is the economic. As I mentioned, all this linear park will bring some shops, some business. So this increase the economy of the district. Also, another impact will be the environmental impact. For example, this botanical garden, it's very important for the natural. And one more impact that we have is the urban impact. This proposed will help will have a positive improvement in the district, because will be a new space that people can meet, can socialize, can have a very good time, good experience here, and also the connection that we want to make. It's important for the urban design of this district. So that's that is our proposed, our master plan, and what we want to make with this cultural and social zone.
Let's analyze the strengths. The urban renewal and the boardwalk and historical center. We create pedestrian areas and invade the social life and make visitors stay longer, reinforce local identity and raising the value along the coast. Cultural sport and green facilities. Building the cultural center, sport hubs, and liner parks will set up your own activity spot, growing the economy beyond beach season and boosting community pride. The sustainable mobility. With bike lanes and tree-lined boulevard linking the historic zone, the new cultural complex, transport will be managed in a greener way. The positive economic impact. Upgrading Ancon will create the direct job for the local people and more work through workshops inside the cultural complex. The tsunami-ready infrastructure. Located in the safe area with direct access from the boardwalk, the cultural complex will serve as a cage shelter during the natural disaster. Now, the opportunities that reinforce this potential. Copy and paste a model for the other beach cities. The project could be a starting point for the other coastal districts to develop their areas through the sport and culture. Less student pressure at downtown Lima. With this layered complex in a district of Angkor can become a top choice for the local travelers from Lima. Push for the ecotourism and environmental learning. Restoring the coast and added bit green zone will create a space that support the sustainability. Easier access to the climate and public space funds will open doors to money from the multi- multilateral banks and aid programs for the strong coastal projects, filling gaps in green and blue infrastructure. But there are also weaknesses that we must address. Risks of environmental gentrification. Raising land rates make push up residents. Rent rules, mixed social housing, and temporary property plans for future will be needed. High demand for water, energy, and materials. The construction will need many resources. Without less standards and reused desalinated water, it could worsen water stress and the carbon footprint. Limited public service. The current seabirds and the treatment plant may be too small. Without upgrade, visitor number will be accept the capacity. Near fragility ecosystem, woodlands and the coastal areas may suffer from the lights and the noise, unless buffer zones and set visited our usage. Finally, the external threats. Poor waste management. Without the waste treatment plant and recycling spots, extra trash will double monthly garbage, deposit beach, and hurt small scale fishing. Real estate and speculation and pressure on coastal land. Beyond many lots for second homes with limited public access at change to town layout if zoning at anti-speculation fees are not enforced. Extreme weather or economic crisis. A tsunami or recession will cut city income and slow maintenance, wearing down the new infrastructure fast. The political change and lack of community. The government swing with long-term deals will job permits, cheat budgets, and who can investor trust the lie the project shoulder. In conclusion, the lasting success will depend on activity, meaning the weakness and threats highlighted in the SWOT. Safeguards against the environmental gentrification, solid waste manage the system, strict ecosystem rules are vital to avoid the negative effects. Clear governments and long-term funding must be set up early to withstand political shift. The economic shocks and climate hazards such as tsunamis and sea level rise. By pairing ambitious public realm upgrades with inclusive social programs, flexible green designs, and transparent monitoring, the project through come toward potential liabilities into strengths, ensuring benefits for residents and visitors alike while protecting and coastal heritage for the future generations. Also, our role as architect is to take an ethical duty to the future, to design a space that lower environmental impact, promote the social equity, and strengthen the communities against the climate change. We will save energy, use low impact materials and natural based ideas, ensure access for all communities involved, and judge each project by its support for health, safe, and next generations will begin. The sustainability will guide our world and protect both the planet and the quality of life of those who will live here tomorrow.